Hello, and welcome back to Academic Matters. Once again, I'm Joe Marbach, the Provost at LaSalle University. In this segment, I'm joined by Dr. Madjid Tavana, who's a professor in our Business Systems and Analytics program, which I misspoke at Madjid and said it was Management and Information Sciences, which is the old program.
Yes.
Welcome to the program first.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
And second, normally I ask for some background, but let's talk about business analytics, because it's an emerging field, and maybe you can weave in how you come to business analytics from your prior background.
Yes. Well, business analytics basically refers to skills, technologies, and also practices that managers continuously use by analyzing the data to make effective decisions and solve problems. Now, there are different subsets inside business analytics. Basically, with business analytics, business analytics can help managers answer three questions. One is, what happened in their business? What will happen in the business, and what should happen in business? Mm-hmm. So that's, as you said, it's an emerging field, and using business analytics techniques that focus on past data or really answer the question of what happened, they're called descriptive analytics. So that's one subset. Also, business analytics techniques that they look at what will happen, they answer that question. For managers, they're called predictive analytics. And the third subset is basically what should happen. How can we change the course of future? Those techniques are called prescriptive analytics. So really it's a collection of a bunch of mostly mathematical and computer techniques and methodologies that help managers look at the data and make effective and informed decisions.
Yeah. Now, a lot of this develops in an era of what they call big data, right?
Correct.
That we just have so much information, and it could be social media, collect what our likes and dislikes on Facebook, or people are tracking our viewing habits with television and what we're purchasing. How has that exploded? Is it all because of technology? And this is your key area that you focus on.
Well, let me give you a little bit of history. When I started actually LaSalle in 1984, and when I came to LaSalle, our major was called operations management. So that's really the focus was a lot on using techniques and methodologies, not a whole lot of computers, that help managers to be more effective and efficient. So that was like kind of maybe 80s. In 90s, the technology become kind of like people got used to it, and now all of a sudden businesses are taking advantage of a lot of technology. So at least our discipline was called management information system. That's where you refer to when you introduced me as that's really what we used to be called. Now over the past 5 or maybe 7 years now, this here business analytics and big data has emerged, which is really it's a combination of 3 different disciplines. It's statistics, computer technology and computer science, and basically the third part is operations research. So these 3 disciplines, they came together, and basically you're using technology, you're using some mathematical methods or techniques to help managers basically unlock this mystery, what's in data, what's going on. And as you said, with big data, there are tons of data out there. The problem is a lot of managers, a lot of businesses, they don't know what to do with it. So all of a sudden we saw the value in data, and basically big data and business analytics emerged as a field to basically help managers to look at this data more effectively and make informed decisions.
Okay. Now, in terms of your own work, it's not just limited to the classroom. You've been a fellow with NASA.
Yes.
And again, another type of organization that's using lots of data to do analysis. Well, describe some of your work there and other work outside the classroom that you've been helping industry.
Yes. In terms of my experience, since 1996, I have pretty much every summer My wife doesn't like it, but I travel somewhere exotic, such as Mississippi or Houston. So I basically have done a lot of summer works at the Kennedy Space Center, at Johnson Space Center, Stennis Space Center, and that's for NASA. I've come back to the kind of work I have done for them. And also I have done some work for the Air Force Research Lab and Naval Research Lab. So most of my work at NASA has been involved developing decision support systems, looking at a lot of data, helping managers at NASA make different type of decisions. So I have been there for a long time, so I've worked on many different projects, from human exploration of Mars. We worked on a project for 3 years on how to get to Mars, which still is that whole work is in progress. Also, I work at the shuttle engineering office, how, for example, look at the data collected by different contractors and see their efficiency and effectiveness. We could come down to the money side of it for budgeting purposes, and also work on projects for global warming in Europe and a number of different projects for NASA. Similarly, I have worked on project at the Naval Research Lab. Mostly my projects involve autonomous underwater vehicles. Basically, these underwater vehicles, they collect a lot of data, and then it becomes challenging what to do with this data. So some of it is classified, but that's one of the projects I worked on. And at the Air Force Research Lab, my focus has been on designing and developing decision support system for military command and control systems. So that's, obviously that has, I have used that experience in my research, and also share it in my classroom for my students.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. How do you translate that into the classroom? Is it through case studies, or do you take, as you're talking about with the military, your field operations command and control, there's lots of variables and they're moving and constantly changing. Yeah, exactly. How do you use it in the classroom?
Well, in the classroom, mostly has been case studies. But I was also fortunate because of those experiences. I was able to work with a number of very smart people, obviously in these government agencies, and I've developed 3 software packages for basically that we use it now in our classroom, in our MBA program and our undergraduate program. These are software packages. They're modeling packages. The one is called Decide. That's really, the technology is called influence diagramming. We developed something called Decode, which is for natural language programming. Another one, which is called BWise, is for expert systems. All of these packages, they were really developed because of my exposure and experience at NASA and Air Force Research Lab, and also Naval Research Lab. And now we use them in the classroom in our MBA program and undergraduate through a lot of real-life problem solving. Most of our courses are hands-on in the classroom, and the students use that to these tools to look at data and make decisions.
Now, once they're done within the classroom, are these is this kind of software they can take with them to apply to a corporation and help them continue to make decisions?
Yes, actually, a couple of them we are working, I've done some work with Microsoft. A couple of them, they really are extensions to Excel. So really, these are tools, Decide and Decode, are programs that make Excel a lot more easier to use and more powerful in terms of building complex business models, yes.
Now, let me go back, tied back to what you were talking about, the types of analytics that goes on. Would these be along the lines of predictive analytics, or are they more descriptive so that somebody knows?
Yeah, most of the tools we have developed, descriptive analytics is pretty much really about, that's the statistics. Okay. So these are really mostly predictive and prescriptive analytics. These are basically tools that tell you this is where you're heading and how can you change course of actions by making effective decisions. So pretty much predictive and descriptive, prescriptive analytics.
Okay, and then it's at that point, I guess, that the theory comes in of how to change the course of an organization and how to...
Correct.
Does culture come into play?
A lot of times, because as we know, that's always a constraint. If you build a model, culture is going to be a part of that constraint. And although it's a little bit difficult to bring it into a mathematical model, but that comes in play. Like one of the projects we work on is we simulate how a multinational bank wants to expand into 20 different countries all over the world. That's a very complex problem because you have to look at not only economic factor, but there is the social factors, technological factors. You have to put all of these things together. So we build a computer model that basically account for all of these pieces of the puzzle, put them together, help them make a decision.
And then they can pick how they put it into place in those institutions and where they go.
Yes.
Okay. Madjid, we're just about out of time. I appreciate you sharing your expertise with us and,
Thank you very much.
Your experience at NASA and with the military.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the invitation.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My guest has been Dr. Madjid Tavana, who is a professor in our Business Systems and Analytics program here at LaSalle's School of Business at LaSalle University. Once again, my name's Joe Marbach. I'm the provost at LaSalle. Thank you for watching.